Welcome to Ask Trinity Archives. I'm Marissa Maggs.
And I'm Joe Lapinski.
And we are two archivists working in the archives of Trinity Church Wall Street. Is it true Trinity used to host a New Year's celebration?
Long before there was even a Times Square, Trinity Church used to play a large role in literally ringing the new year, especially considering that the celebration at Trinity had a lot to do with the ringing of its bells. The first sign of Trinity ringing its church bells on New Year's Eve, from what we can tell in the archives, comes from 1801, when the vestry resolved that, quote, £8 be paid to the persons who rang the bells on New Year's Day. When the celebration begins to change and crowds really begin to form at Trinity Church on New Year's Eve is with the construction of the third and current Trinity Church, which was completed in 1846. And what changed with the completion of the third church is that its bell tower was outfitted with a full octave of change-ringing bells, capable of playing tunes. And that's something that neither of the previous Trinity churches had. And it's something that James Ailiff, Trinity's official bell ringer at that time, was happy to take full advantage of. There's a quote from the New York Herald describing the scene in 1860 as comprising of numerous watchers around and about the venerable walls of Old Trinity at the mystic hour when spirits are said to walk around, lingering there to hear the first thrilling peal of the clattering bells in their iron-tongued farewell to the dying year. And you can see in that quote, it kind of illustrates that once somber nature of New Year's Eve celebrations of old. Many people saw it as a contemplative event where you would more reflect on the dying year that was about to pass, more so than loudly celebrate in a way that we're more accustomed to.
By 1885, the vibe had changed significantly. According to the New York Times, crowds were blocking the sidewalks, straggling through the streets, struggling and pushing each other with all the recklessness of people wholly without intellectual curbs, while the noise they sent up nearly drowned the welcome to the new year which rang out from Trinity Tower. The crowds became such a problem that in 1893, Reverend Morgan Dix, who was Trinity's rector at the time, decided to cancel the bell ringing. We have Dix's thorough diaries in our collection, and they showed that Dix spent many New Years away from Trinity, and the raucous celebration was not really his style. Despite the lack of music that year, the tradition continued and crowds still gathered at Trinity. In fact, the New York Times also reported that young revelers brought their noisy celebration straight to Dix's home that night with the intention simply to annoy the Reverend until Dix's servant shooed them away. By December 1894, Dix was under pressure to resume the custom, and he relented, saying, "It is a beautiful custom. The crowd failed to appreciate the sacredness of the time and forced me to take the step I did. I sincerely trust they will not do this on Monday night. If there is disorder, it will be the last time Old Trinity's bells will be rung on New Year's Eve." The disorder must have ceased because the tradition resumed after this point and continued for several years. However, the custom of gathering for New Year's at Trinity fell out of favor in the early 20th century when the Times Square celebration began in 1904.
That's all we have for today, but we'd love to hear from you. We welcome any questions you have, and we'll do our best to answer them in a future video. Thanks for tuning in.